Hey Curious, surely a lot of you have already heard about the release of the Netflix documentary that reveals all the secrets we thought we knew about Jisoo, Jennie, Rosé, and Lisa, the members of the highly successful female K-pop group Blackpink. Since the release of the trailer for the new production, Blackpink Light Up the Sky, all the fans and even those who say they're not fans began to count down the days to the release, as they couldn't wait to see what this documentary would reveal. What is the reason for the success of these girls? How have they been dealing with so much fame and power? Why has their behavior affected other women around the world? Should we be worried about that? You know what? I'm not gonna say anything more. To find out, you'll just have to stay with me until the very end, but before we continue, don't forget to hit the bell and the subscription button. With this new production that was released on October 14th, Jisoo, Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé, or Rosé, however you want to say that, join other celebrities like Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, and Madonna as protagonists of other documentaries also made by the titan of the streaming services Netflix. Blackpink Light Up the Sky, however, had already been a success for some time before it was even released. The triumphant history of the group of the girls began in 2016 with the album Square One, and from its beginnings the band revolutionized the idea that was held about women's groups until their emergence. Much of their popularity is due to the connection that is evident on stage as well as off of it, and that behavior is just what Caroline Sue, the director of this new documentary, shows to the fans of the band. But this group of friends not only show solidarity among themselves, but are equally supportive and generous with all their followers. Although there is an evident barrier due to the difference in languages, none of them sees it as an obstacle. On the contrary, it's more of the opportunity to demonstrate the union that exists. Moreover, while other groups have come to know of envy and internal competition to see who is the most talented of all, this is not the case of the members of Blackpink. These girls share their skills and use them as complementary elements rather than as a differentiation. And since we are talking about the support and solidarity that exists among the girls, they have all supported each other when they needed it most. On that subject, in a part of the new production, Jennie mentioned the following. The harder they were with me, the more I said to myself, I'm going to get through this and show them what I'm worth. And yes, none of that would have been possible without the support of her colleagues. Wouldn't you agree, Curious? These girls are great, and it's precisely because of that kind of attitude that the band has been described by their fans as a group of true warriors. But what would become of any apprentice who aspires to become a warrior without practice? And in that sense, another key to Blackpink's enormous success is the discipline they imprint on it after the 14 hours they spend each day in rehearsals. However, and as it could not be otherwise, despite this, they have also received strong criticism. But far from being unmotivated or affected, it is something that gives them greater impulse to continue preparing themselves and to continue improving. And not only is it a matter of keeping shut the mouths of those who criticize incessantly, but it's also for all K-pop fans who know that it is more than well known that the industry is one of the most competitive areas of music. In fact, according to the band members themselves, it is very common and even inevitable that the members of other bands try to trample on their rivals to call them something. And then, talking about all of these characteristics, it's no longer surprising to us if anyone around here still had any doubts about it why these girls have become the favorite group of millions of around the world. And the Blackpink fan list includes not only ordinary people like you and me, but also other superstars like Selena Gomez and Lady Gaga. Can you imagine working so hard to become the idols of your own idols? What a dream come true, right? But in a world where more and more artists are emerging every single day, well, some should rather be called pseudo-artists, but oh well. In this world of show business as competitive as it is today, how do you keep cool and stay fresh for your fans? According to what the documentary shows, the key is to continue enjoying what you do and to continue being creative, without fear of entering unknown territory, metaphorically speaking of course. For example, in one part of the production you can see Rosé playing her guitar in a dimly lit room, a very personal way to free herself from stress. And since we have reached this point, perhaps many of us think that the life of a superstar like them is just laps, full of concerts, tours around the world, and pure enjoyment and happiness. However, overwhelming success like theirs is almost always accompanied by high levels of stress. On that subject, while playing her guitar, Rosé said, "Sometimes I miss my training days because we were surrounded by music all the time. But these days we have a lot of work, so I have to make time for this." And yes, all that work that Rosé talks about includes long hours of trial and error trying to create original content that will appeal to us fans. That's because when many think that the Blackpink songs were industrially produced, they actually weren't. This group didn't get to the position itself as the most successful female band of recent years, at least of this chaotic 2020, by mere coincidence. And behind that success, there is a long creative process in which each and every one of the members of the group participates and contributes their own ideas and opinions. Teamwork makes the dream work. And it is not only thanks to this exemplary way of working that these young women have infected their millions of fans with. When most of the prestigious fashion houses in the market realized how much media attention the group was attracting, they obviously didn't miss the opportunity to get on the train as well. And for that reason, Blackpink girls are the official image of brands like Saint Laurent, Chanel, Celine, and Dior. But the inspiration that the members of Blackpink provoke in their fans goes far beyond something as banal as the way they dress. Most of the band's fans agree on one thing when it comes to what they like most about them: the friendship we talked about at the beginning. As we have already said, that support and great relationship that they have with each other can be seen from miles away, and in the Netflix documentary, it is once again there as evidence. In fact, in the opinion of all of them, more than a friendship between Blackpink, because there's already a sisterhood relationship. Although, of course, like good little sisters, they also give each other their little quips from time to time. I mean, are you going to tell me that between you and your siblings, it's just all nice and smiles and no fights? Yeah, right. Although, as well as having little arguments, it's not like the band members get mad at each other. Rather, when it comes to making any constructive criticism of each other's work or performance, none are tempted to get angry. Well, that is just another clear proof of good relationships between them. It takes a lot of confidence to tell someone their mistakes, and even when it comes to, criticism. And who is more direct than the people you know best? Don't you agree? Again, moreover, these internal criticisms have served to confront the criticism that has come to them from the outside. And as the older sister of the family, Jisoo is the one who has made sure that her little sisters are able to take what they need from those points to learn and grow. And yes, also throw away what are only unfounded and meaningless criticisms that have no other intention than to just damage the image and self-esteem of the girls. You know, the envious criticism. Lisa, on the other hand, is the most positive of the group and has known how to transmit and fill the rest of the members with positive energy. Do you guys also have such a good group of friends? I ask you because it is precisely thanks to this exemplary behavior that many of the fans have followed their example and made it known to the band. Something that fills them with satisfaction because for Blackpink, it is essential that women support each other, especially in these complicated times. And that enormous amount of inspiration in their fans was reflected in the peak of the documentary. Of course, I'm talking about the performance the band had at the 2019 Coachella Festival. By doing so, Blackpink became the first female K-pop group in history to perform at that iconic and legendary festival. And since they finally made it this far, even they couldn't believe that such a thing was actually happening to them. Can you imagine how awesome it must be to go out on stage and see thousands of people chanting your songs and dancing to your choreography? And even if they didn't give credit to what they were witnessing, because Rosé herself wondered why there were so many people to see them. And it is precisely in the moment of such stress and so many emotions experienced at the same time that you can again see the support and sisterhood that exists between them. And when they gather in a circle before the show, while they keep silent and send the best vibes to each other, and then dazzle the crowd of fans that await them eagerly in front of the stage. Without a doubt, this is the peak moment of the documentary. So what's next for these successful girls? Well, it seems that within not much time, we could see a production, but even with more personal content from each of the members. That's according to what the band's music producer Teddy Park said. He is precisely the one who has been behind the creations of the group since its creation. And for their part, the members of the group are perfectly aware that their fame and popularity will not last forever, and even less so at the time when it's increasingly easy to hear new music from the far corners of the planet. However, in Lisa's own words, as long as there is a fan who remembers them and tells others about them, they will remain alive. And her words were as follows: no matter how much we age and we are replaced by the next generation, as long as there is someone who still talks about us, they will always remember how much we shine. So what do you think, Curious? Have you seen the new Netflix documentary? What did you think about it? And tell me, what do you like most about Blackpink? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and I shall see you tomorrow.